He was only 9, dirt on his cheeks, tears carving clean rivers down them. In his skinny arms, a newborn baby squirmed inside a blanket that had once been white. The garden was a dream, roses arching overhead, 200 guests in silk and pearls, violins trembling with the final notes of the bridal march. Aisha's veil fluttered like a promise. Zane's smile could sell diamonds. And then the boy ran. Straight down the petal-strewn aisle he charged, shoes slapping marble, baby wailing sharp enough to slice the music dead. Phones rose like periscopes. Aisha's bouquet hit the ground, roses exploding red. The officiant's mouth froze mid-sentence. Security lunged. The boy planted his feet, chest heaving, and screamed the words that killed the fairy tale. "Stop. You can't marry him. This baby is his." Silence dropped, so hard you could hear the champagne bubbles pop. Zane's tin drained to ash. Aisha's eyes, those soft brown eyes that had sparkled for cameras, widened, searching the boy's face for a lie and finding only terror. The child's name was our eyes. His shirt was 2 sizes too big, collar frayed, but his grip on the infant was practiced, gentle, the way only someone who has fed and changed and rocked at 3 a.m. can hold a life. The baby's cry thinned into hiccups against his neck. Our eyes swallowed, voice cracking like thin ice. My mom died bringing him into the world. Zane is my dad. He left us. A ripple of gasps rolled through the chairs. Zane lifted both hands, palms out, the universal sign of innocence that suddenly looked guilty. "I don't know this kid," he said, but his voice wobbled, and the lie tasted sour on his tongue even before it left. Aisha stepped forward, train dragging behind her like a chain. "Zane." One word, soft, lethal. "Look at me." He couldn't. His eyes slid to the exit, to his mother clutching pearls, to anywhere but the boy who looked nothing like him and everything like accusation. Our eyes fumbled in his pocket and pulled out a photograph. Edges curled, colors faded. He held a high. In the picture, a younger Zane grinned beside a woman heavy with pregnancy. Saba, laughing, hand on her belly. Same jawline on the boy. Same tilt of the head. "That's my mom," our eyes said. She kept this on the fridge until the day she bled out in the hallway of a free clinic. The nurses said the father paid the bill and vanished. That father was you. Zane's best man took one step back. The maid of honor covered her mouth. Aisha's fingers found the engagement ring, twisting it like she could unscrew the last 2 years that R.I.'s knees buckled. He sank to the marble, cradling the baby so it wouldn't hit the ground. "He has another son," he whispered, loud enough for the front row. "In the orphanage. Same father, different mother, same story." The baby let out a thin, exhausted cry. Our eyes rocked him automatically, shushing like a lullaby he'd sung 100 nights alone. "Please," he begged the bride, "don't let him do it again." Aisha knelt, silk pooling around her, and touched the infant's cheek with one trembling finger. The baby quieted instantly, tiny fist curling around her manicured nail. Something ancient cracked open in her chest 0.5 years ago. Aisha had been 23, terrified, standing in a hospital corridor that smelled of bleach and endings. Hamza, her Hamza, had died on a rain-slick road before he ever knew she was carrying his daughter. Grief had convinced her the kindest thing was to sign the papers, kiss the tiny forehead, and walk away. She had never spoken the name Miriam aloud again. Until now, watching this boy protect a brother the way she once failed to protect her own. She looked up at Zane. "You told me you had no children." "I thought," he started. "You thought wrong." Her voice cut clean. She stood, veil slipping from her hair like surrender. The ring slid off her finger and pinged against the marble. Small, sharp, final. Security closed in. Our eyes curled over the baby, shielding him with his whole body. Aisha raised one hand. "Let him stay." The guards froze. She turned to the guests, chin high. Show's over. Go home. Chairs scraped. Whispers rose like smoke. Zane reached for her wrist. She stepped back, and the space between them became a canyon. Ri size. Red, swollen, ancient. Met hers. I just wanted him to be a dad, he said. Not a ghost. The baby slept now, thumb in mouth, unaware he had just detonated a life. Aisha knelt again, this time beside the boy. She didn't touch him yet. What's his name? She asked. Doesn't have one, our eyes mumbled. They said wait for family. Family never came. Aisha's heart performed a slow, painful fold. She looked at the ruined aisle, the scattered petals, the man she had almost promised forever to. Then she looked at the two children no one had chosen. Aisha carried the baby herself, our eyes trailing one step behind, clutching the photograph like a passport. The wedding venue dissolved in a chaos behind them. Caterers unplugging fairy lights, guests live-streaming apologies, Zane's mother wailing into a lace handkerchief. None of it mattered. The orphanage van waited at the gate, engine idling, social worker inside tapping her watch. Inside the brick building that smelled of talcum and boiled cabbage, the director led them past playpens and crayon drawings taped too high for little hands to reach. Our eyes walked like he knew every crack in the linoleum. He stopped at a crib labeled Yusuf, 12 months. The boy inside had Zane's nose and a tuft of black hair that stuck up like a question mark that Aisha's breath caught. Yusuf blinked at her, gummy smile, two bottom teeth. She lifted him without asking permission. The director didn't stop her. The baby smelled of milk and hope. Our eyes watched, arms wrapped around himself. There's one more, the director said quietly. She opened a door to the preschool room. A little girl in a faded pink dress looked up from a puzzle. Big eyes, Hamza's eyes. Miriam, 5 years old and still waiting for the mommy who had kissed her once and disappeared. That Miriam's puzzle piece fell. Mama, she asked, voice small as a seed. Aisha's knees gave out. She sank to the industrial carpet, Yusuf on one hip, and opened her free arm. Miriam ran. The collision was soft, fierce, overdue. Our eyes hung back until Miriam reached for him too. Brother? She whispered. He nodded, throat working, and let himself be pulled into the tangle of limbs and tears. Zane arrived an hour later. Ty Askew, eyes bloodshot. He carried a checkbook like a shield. I'll set up trusts, he babbled. Private schools, whatever they need. Aisha didn't look up from braiding Miriam's hair. They need a father who reads bedtime stories, not deposits. I can learn, he said. Learning starts with showing up sober. She finally met his gaze. Leave the check. Come back when you've attended one parenting class. We'll talk. He left the check, and for the first time, no excuses. 6 months later, Zane sat on a plastic chair in a church basement, coffee in one hand, pamphlet in the other. He had calluses now, from changing diapers, from pushing swings, from holding Yusuf while the boy screamed through an ear infection. He visited every Tuesday and Thursday, never missed. The kids called him Zane, not Dad. Yet, Aisha watched from the doorway sometimes, arms crossed, heart a cautious bird. Trust was a muscle. His was still in physical therapy. 1 year after the wedding that never happened, Aisha's new living room overflowed with noise. Miriam sang made-up songs about unicorns. Yusuf toddled into furniture and laughed. Our eyes, 10 now, balanced a plate of burnt cookies like a peace offering. The walls were covered in finger paint and school pictures. No chandelier, no marble, just warmth that smelled of cinnamon and baby shampoo. Aisha had founded second chances, legal aid, counseling, emergency foster beds. Her office was a corner of the dining table, laptop glowing between sippy cups. She wore jeans now, not silk, and the ring finger stayed bare. Zane knocked at 6:07 p.m. every Thursday. This time he carried a toolbox instead of a check. Leaky sink, he announced. Our eyes rolled his eyes, but followed him to the kitchen, already handing over the wrench like an old pro. Later, after bats and stories, and 3 negotiations over one more chapter, the kids slept in a pile of blankets on the couch during movie night. Zane lingered at the door. Aisha handed him a Tupperware of leftovers. Their fingers brushed. Neither pulled away. Still earning, he said. Still watching, she replied. He nodded, stepped into the night, and for the first time didn't look back to see if the door closed. Inside, our eyes drawing hung on the fridge, 5 stick figures under a yellow sun. The tallest one had a veil made of notebook paper. The smallest had a pacifier, in wobbly letters beneath. My family. Aisha traced the word with her thumb, smiled until it hurt, and turned off the kitchen light. Love, it turned out, wasn't the explosion at the altar. It was the quiet Thursdays, the burnt cookies, the second and third and 100 chances. It was a 9-year-old boy who refused to let anyone else become a ghost. And somewhere in the dark, a newborn slept without a name no more, wrapped in a blanket that would never be white again, but would always be home.